The morning sunlight streaming through my window wakes me up instead of my alarm, and I realize that it must be Sunday. Emmy has kindly deigned to give me weekends off for our morning runs. I don't actually know if I woke up at all yesterday, or if I just slept through the entire day. My legs groan and protest as I lever myself out of bed. All this running has really taken it out of me. Still, I can't deny that Emmy wasn't lying to me. It has gotten a little easier. I've been worried that the runs would start to wear on my nerves, but thus far I haven't minded them that much. Well, it's only been a week. I suppose there's plenty of time for me to start dreading the sound of my alarm in the morning. Not that I could ever skip out now. Yeah, you're kinda stuck, dude. You're kinda stuck, man. As Emmy said, it's harder to stop a routine than when there's another person. And frankly, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with a disappointed Emmy. She'd probably give me those puppy dog eyes and I'd feel terrible about myself. Yeah, she is pretty cute. Which reminds me, wasn't I supposed to be somewhere today? What was I to do?
Hey, you're coming to my track meet on Sunday, right? What am I talking about? Of course you are.
Right? Those puppy dog eyes again. Of course I'm going. I owe you, right?
Exactly. So don't forget, okay?
Crap, Emmy's track meet. I'd better get a move on if I don't want to miss her running, since she's the only reason I'm ever even considering going. Otherwise, it would defeat the whole purpose of going. So I soon find myself quite suddenly surrounded by a crowd of people, all turning out to see our track team compete with another school like this one. I'll admit it, it's almost comforting to know we're not the only school like this. After you see that there can be two schools with a bunch of defective kids, well, you stop feeling so defective. You also stop feeling unique, which is, in most cases, would be a bad thing, but in this case, it sure as hell isn't. That's part of Yamaku's appeal, I guess. Learn that you're not unique. Hell, learn there's a lot of others who would kill to be saddled with your problems instead of whatever they're dealing with. Some of the kids here aren't here because they're missing a leg or they have a heart condition. Some of them might be here because they're as good as dead in 2, maybe 3 years if they're lucky. And that's only if they get the right sort of care. It's a bitter sort of comfort to be able to say, well, at least I've got a chance of being alive through college, but there it is. I'm brought out of my rather morbid musing by the appearance of Rin near the entrance in the bleachers.
You came!
Of course, I said I would, didn't I?
It doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow, though. Lots of people say things that don't mean them.
Well, I don't. Rin shrugs. Seemingly bored with our conversation, she turns on her heels and heads back towards the stands.
I owe Emmy money now.
Why's that?
I don't think you'd show up. I didn't think you showed up. Emmy did. So I owe her 500 yen.
You two bet an awful lot, don't you? Another shrug from my armless companion.
I don't think so.
We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards.
Up there.
Wrong button.
I came out to see if you'd come.
For the bet, I presume. Rin leads the way and soon we're settled down on an almost empty bench. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin, someone's mother, I assume. She's got rather long hair down up in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives her an oddly familiar seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy.
Huh? A snack? I wonder why I was down there.
The woman laughs again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? Well, I'm not doing that voice anymore. Well, I suppose you've always been one to go out for one thing or bring it back and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't introduced myself. I am Miko Ibarazaki, Emi's mother. Yep, knew it. Pleased to meet ya. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, and better endowed Emi. Apart from her hair being a darker shade than Emi's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Hisao Nakai. And really, you don't have to apologize for not introducing yourself, Miss Ibarazaki. That's really Rin's job in this situation, isn't it? Another laugh from Emi's mother. I take it you've not known Rin for that long, then. It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She got other things to think about, I assume. Rin nods, seemingly pleased by this assessment. Yeah. She's right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see, it's really up to us to make introductions and the like. For lack of any better response, I nod. Miss Ibarazaki leans back a little on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So, how long have you and Rin been dating? Ooh. That's something that comes out of the blue when you're just like sitting there stumped for a few seconds. My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just before I can begin to utter a hastily babbled explanation, Emi's mom bursts into laughter again. Ha! You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. Maybe. So this must be a new romance then, mustn't it? Wait, that's not the question that... Another laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. Evil mother. Emi's the princess and she's the queen. Evil queen. I'm sorry, forgive an old woman for her amusements. Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. Clearly Emi gets her youthful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. Let it go. Overused joke is overused. How kind of you. We're starting. Come on, Emi, you can do this. I direct my attention to the track where they're preparing for the first sprint. It looks like the 400-meter dash. I scan the runners before finding Emi. She's smiling with an utmost cocky look on her face. The starter raises his pistol. Emi explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing, even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside lane, Emi surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, some of the other runners have caught up with her. The efforts come to naught, though, since a final burst of speed from Emi leaves them at least a half-second behind. Miss Ibarazaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly and generally looking like any other parent cheering up on their child. Emi bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results. I think she's gotten faster since the last time. That was incredible. Miss Ibarazaki grins proudly. Emi is a heck of a runner. We fall silent on the next event, as the next event is being prepared. I'm surprised to see Emi striding out onto the track again. Wait, didn't she just run? Emi's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emi can handle it. From the looks of things, she's right. Emi doesn't appear to be tired. as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? It's a 220-meter dash. Okay, so he went 400 to 200. She'll do this, the 100-meter mesh, and the relay. Wait, so it goes 400 to 200 to 100. What? Why does it longer? I don't know. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, EMI flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Ren's foot. As Ren's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. EMI's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they take very long to complete. Your foot. Oh? Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers.
Oh, that.
You seem pretty into this stuff, I'm surprised. Ren looks at me quizzically.
Why wouldn't they be?
No reason, I just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you.
I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching EMI, not the sport.
I don't follow.
EMI's the most EMI when she runs. You don't get to see EMI at her EMIest very often.
Oh, the grammar. It's hurting me because I'm a grammar Nazi. And I clicked the wrong button again.
But here you can see.
She directs my attention towards the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch EMI closely. As she gets into the starting block, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward in what could be a grin and could be a growl. Again, will I stop clicking that button? When a pistol goes off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed. But we couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. It's all over in a few seconds, but in those few seconds I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for EMI. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returns to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think EMI's prowess all comes from her father's side. At the mention of EMI's father, Miss Ibarazaki looks wistful, almost sad. He got her into running, you know? Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude for me to ask about EMI's father. But after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I might ask? EMI's mother hesitates. Oh, whoops. Stop clicking the button. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. He just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering. They were very close. I see. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Miss Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? Oh, nothing. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell EMI I'm very proud of her and that I'll call her late tonight? Of course. Of course! I'll admit that I zone out for a while. I almost didn't notice that the relay is about to begin. When I look, I can't find EMI. I thought that EMI would be running the relay. He runs anchor.
So she won't be running for a while yet.
Ah.
Did you see it? EMI at her EMIest.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe this time.
The race begins and I cheer EMI's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff. There's no baton in her hand. What? They're just using the same picture over. They could have photoshopped it in, I don't know. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs. It really is beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her Emmyest, I suppose. Look at her run! It still doesn't have a baton. But then, as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly. It's only barely, but it's a definite stumble. Rin inhales sharply, and actually looks concerned for a second. Oh, did she hurt herself? Do you think?
You noticed it too?
Of course I did. I'm the first one to talk about it.
It must be bad.
She frowns as if deciding on a next course of action. Eventually that proves to be too tiresome and she shrugs again.
Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a L'Oreal branch? What? Laurel?
I think of L'Oreal for some reason. Because she's worth it. That's not going to be easy. Rin shrugs.
At least we tried.
Well, we didn't really try all that hard. Or at all. But hey, whatever. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. Oh yeah, I guess she can't exactly wave Emmy over. Then again, I'm not sure that Rin would do such a thing even if she had arms. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emmy, who looks up and grins happily at me, us.
Hey, you showed up. Guess Rin owes me money, huh?
We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but Hisao didn't find one.
Hey, neither did you.
That wasn't my job to look.
When did we assign jobs?
When I said, see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up.
I shrug, guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems like my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs at Rin and me.
It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow.
Sure.
Good. So how did I look?
I stopped myself from blurting out beautiful and amazing, and settled for this sustainable, safe, or very impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow.
Great to hear. I was worried that I looked a little slow on a relay, but I guess I did fine, huh?
Actually, I noticed Rin kicks me and keeps me from finishing my sentence.
What was that all about?
He noticed it at the end.
That's no good. Guess the nurse will look at it for me later.
There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal, but I suddenly noticed a slight twitch on her face. Like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. It's then that I notice her breathing's a little shallow too. I guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern because she skips up to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder.
Hey, you look a little worried. I'm fine, really. Just sore from all the running is all. And come on, a little pain isn't going to stop me.
Or oh no? Emmy grins, and for a moment she looks like she did during her sprint. Fierce and unconquerable. Or to put it in any way, really beautiful.
Hasn't yet.
Well then, I guess I shouldn't worry, huh?
Damn right. I'm Emmy Iwazaki. Fastest thing on no legs. I don't stop for anything.
Impressive. Emmy giggles and then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget,
Rin and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meeting celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since the track meet was on a Sunday, I've got homework in class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus our morning run, of course.
Right, of course, of course. Oh, right. Your mom wanted to say she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight.
I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it. Used to be my dad who showed up at my meets, but Mom's done a pretty good job of taking over.
She shivers slightly, and I realize that she's still all sweaty. A breeze has started to blow too. I'm not cold at all, and I've got my jacket with me, so without a word I throw it around her shoulders. Emmy judges slightly and then grins at me.
Hey, thanks. I'm getting a little cold, I guess. It's getting a little cold, I guess.
Yeah, looked like it. Just as I begin to wonder whether or not giving Emmy my jacket could be taken the wrong way, a boy on a track uniform approaches. Hey, Emmy, you're going to miss the medal ceremony.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Emmy turns to Rin and myself.
You don't want to stick around for that part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be up late or so. Morning run tomorrow, don't forget.
How could I?
Good point. I mean, it's spending time with me, after all.
With that, she waves quickly and dashes off to receive her medals, or whatever they pass off as medal these days. Rin and I head away from the track, Rin remaining deep in whatever thoughts she has for most of the walk back to her dorm. As I see her off, she speaks up. You're probably not getting that coat back, I think. I'm sure I'll get it back eventually. Interesting. Take it as it comes, huh? Very Amish. With this odd statement, she turns and heads into the building. Honestly, was it that big a deal? Emmy is cold and, unless I'm mistaken, in pain. Giving her a solution to at least one of those problems seems like an obvious reaction. Though I guess there is a chance I could lose my jacket if Emmy never remembers to return it. I guess Rin has a point. Still, I can't bring myself to muster much worry over the whole thing. After all, it's been getting warmer lately. I don't need a jacket. Odd. I think I used to be a little more responsible with my stuff. Emmy-ish, huh? Maybe that's not really a bad thing.